All right, man. We was talking about the pace. With Detroit, they need to push the pace, and a lot of people are saying that Cade Cunningham is the reason why the Pistons play slow and they don't push the pace. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And I mean, yeah, and that has to be emphasized. We made a point when somebody made a point in the comment section when Cade went out last year. Towards the end, Jalen Duren had one of his more productive performances, numbers-wise, and one of the reasons they play so well, they play with pace. And I think if you're going to keep Ausar Thompson and Jalen Duren together, I've said this before, their benefit to playing out there is that Ausar might be the most athletic wing, him and his brother, in the NBA. Jalen Duren is the most athletic 5 in the NBA. There's not a center I can think of that's more athletic than he is. From somebody he has slow feet. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He may be slow to process some things as a player. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little slow to process some things, but he's very athletic. And I think the benefit to the Pistons playing them in their lineup is their ability to run. They have to tell Cade, whether it's losing a little bit of weight, whether it's getting his conditioning up, you can't walk that ball up the floor. And that's something that I think the organization has to be real with themselves on. Part of the benefit of having them offensively is they can't shoot. They can rebound. They athletic. So you have to push. That's why when Jenkins was running controlling the maestro for him, they played so much faster. That's why they was better, because Jenkins is super athletic. You got guys like Duncan trailing, you know what I'm saying? Last year, Karis LeVert, regardless, he's still athletic. Thompson, they all thrive because they play with pace. They got to tell Cade, when you get that ball, bro, you can't walk that motherfucker up the court. And I get it. He like Paul Pierce. They like to really play at their own pace. Big body guys, stop and start. But now you throw in John Collins that can get up the floor, that's athletic. You throw in Isaiah Joe, from what I've seen, look to be athletic. And then you throw another super athlete in there in Ibuka Court. Bro, they got to get up the floor. Paul Reed, you got to get up that floor. And I think, Isaiah Stewart was a guy that kind of slowed the pace down too. For whatever reason, he can't get up and down the floor like that. He can't play a lot of minutes. They have to tell Cade, bro, the number one way he can improve next year, other than the turnovers, and the turnovers is really a direct reflection of not having help in that starting lineup. It ain't no other way I can explain it. If he had another guy to get a ball to that can score, the turnovers would go down. I promise you they would. But other than that, the other thing he's do is play faster. If you gonna add DeMar DeRozan, bro, you gotta use these guys. DeMar, even at 36, super athlete. Ausar Thompson, super athlete. Duren, they have to tell that man, bro, don't you jog up the court. Push the pace. You have to sprint up the floor, big fella. You gotta push the pace. You're slowing us down. And by slowing us down, we can't get Ausar Thompson going and get him the easy buckets. He's most deadly offensively, spacing the floor and in space and going up and down. Duren is more deadly, outrunning his counterpart up and down the floor. They got to play with more pace. There's so many times where they got a break opportunity and Cade is jogging the ball up the court. That shit got to stop. Even if they done had Thompson and Duren and they chose to move on, especially in the playoffs, and you got transition opportunities, you can't allow that easy buckets not to happen. And for Cade just looking ahead and throwing the ball ahead, that can supplement a little bit of that, but he has to push. The way Jenkins pushed that bitch, the way you see a Ibuka gonna put, he has to push it, bro. He played too slow. And I know people in the comment, well, Cade pad his own pace. That nigga better speed that motherfucking pace up. Because it's going to just play into the inferior offense, bro. You're not going to get the best out of Collins. You're not going to get the most out of Durant. You're not going to get the most out of your shooters, Joe, Duncan, that trail. You're not going to get the best out of Dennis Jenkins. And that's probably one of the reasons him and Dennis Jenkins don't play well together, is because Jenkins play at a different pace. Part of Jenkins' game is having the ball in his court, and he play with his under control. He play with speed. Jenkins' next step for him is how to be an effective half-court player. That's why he struggled in the playoffs, but that all come with time. You know what I'm saying? That all will come with time. In the Pistons, and they had transition opportunities versus Orlando, they weren't taking advantage of them. They have to tell Cade, bro, you got to go. Whether it's getting in better conditioning, whether it's, getting a little faster, he got to push that pace, dog. He is holding them back. He holding them back. That's why Jenkins get in there and motherfuckers start flying. They start flying up and down that court. So that's a huge issue that if they talking about what players need to work on, the number one thing they need to tell Cade, whether it's, being a little bit lighter, whether it's increasing your conditioning some more, you got to play with better pace. Because if you don't play with that pace, you're going to hurt Asar Thompson. You're going to hurt Jalen Duren. We got to get easy buckets. And there's so many opportunities to get easy buckets when you got two elite guys, in Duren and Thompson in your lineup. And you got a guy like John Collins that can jump out the gym. You got guys like Isaiah Joe, Kevin Huerter, Duncan Robinson, who are great trailers and shooters. The number one thing that they should write on that board this offseason, that they can fix as a collective, is playing with a lot faster. And Charles Barkley even said it. They got to play faster. Whether it's pushing the ball, throwing the ball ahead, Cade to get the ball, and they have a break opportunity, and it's like he'll just pull the ball back and go in half court. Like, no. Have you seen your half court situation, bro? It's you on 5. It's you and Tobias versus the 5 defenders. And if Duncan Robinson out there, they got to respect him. It's basically 3-on-2. 3-on-5. I don't like the odds, regardless. Cade turnovers will be cut down. Cade assist probably will be up. He'll probably get an additional 6 to 8 easier points. Thompson is going to get 10 points just running the floor. Duren going to get an easy 8 just running the floor. And your shooters get the trail and they get to get started. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is, man. Maybe I'm living in a parallel universe. But let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live, drop video. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk Players for more videos like this. Peace.